So welcome to another video. I am Raj Garcia and I'm here to talk today specifically about fear. And you can tell I'm excited because this topic was literally the thing that held me back from everything in life. The thinking about something going wrong, the worry, anxiety, stress, whatever you want to call it, right? That's just new names. It's just ways of deciding what this thing means. But what I'm going to be talking about is that fear is not a bad thing. It's just something we have built into us. It's our thinking about fear, our relationship to fear, which is the challenge. That's why stress and all of that stuff occurs. So before I dive in, where does fear even come from physically? Because I'm the type of person who wants to know all of every little part of how we work. And a quick rundown is that, yeah, we have animal in us, right? We have animal in us. We are very different animals, but we have parts of us that are the same. This is why we can feel anger, rage, and you see people on a Friday night having a fight. Maybe not so much these days, but something takes over in them. It's the animal. Animals being awakened, let's call it. The challenge is some people live in animal state. I for sure was living in animal state a lot of the time. But it was my thinking which made me stay there. For example, we have this part of us, which is the, amygdala. We have this animal brain. Literally a part of our brain is animal. It evolved. That's what they say anyway. Let's not go into that topic. But let's just keep it as we have a part of animal inside us. That's why we need certain things like food, reproducing. That's why we can have this fight or flight response. We need certain things because this is the body. This is our instinct. So the amygdala, the fear part of our brain, is just looking for our survival. So there's nothing wrong with that, is there? That's actually a good thing. It's helping you to survive. It's saying, hey, this is dangerous. Don't cross the road. There's a car about to come. Jump out. That quick response instinct. And with other things like food, it will tell us you're hungry. It's an automatic system. We don't need to do anything. It just works, right? You don't need to do anything about it. It just works. So fear is just one part of that. It's just triggering us. It's giving us a signal and saying, hey, look out. But what has happened for us as humans, animals, let's stay in the animals for a moment. Animals and us, yes, we need this fear response to stay alive, to survive, to reproduce, right? But then us as humans, we have this other part of us, which is the thinking, the analytical side, intellect, whatever you want to call it. This part of us is able to reflect on itself. So what happens is fear comes, and then we're reflecting on the fear. We're thinking about the fear. And we make judgment from that. Most of the time, this comes from childhood, right? When we're so young that we can't rationally think about stuff. Someone tells you off. Something bad happens. Or maybe not even bad. Something just happens. Something feels like judgment. Something feels dangerous when we're younger. So that creates this, it triggers that fear response, right? But we're so young that we don't know how to rationalize that we take that as danger. So we create these patterns of this is dangerous, this is dangerous. And you know how we're brought up by our parents and everyone around us? This is dangerous. This is that. It's like we have these rules set up. We have these ways of doing things, right? It just gets formed. So that intellectual nature, they're making meaning to things, patterns. We create patterns. Then we know how to do stuff. That's why we're amazing creatures, because we learn, we're adaptable. We adapted to the environments when we were younger. We adapted. And that's a great way to describe it. Because it's like you put on these masks of how to deal with certain situations. For me, it was, I'm anxious, I'm worried, I don't feel like it's okay to be me. So I've got to put on this mask to pretend and to try and fit in and try and please everyone, try and be accepted. And this is quite common for a lot of people, because this is how we've been brought up, right? Look at the school system. Go and do these exams, compare against everyone else. You get an A grade, oh, you get an F, oh, you're not good enough. You got to do better. So it's become normal for us to be in this competitive, judgment-based way, right? So when that is under scrutiny or under any risk, actually, a risk of you falling into danger, that then triggers a fear response now for us. It's not just the animalistic nature, it's the thinking, it's the meaning we've made. And the meaning we've made triggers the animalistic nature. So then your whole body is fired up, fight or flight. That's what happened to me. I used to live in fight or flight. Anytime I felt anxious, socially anxious, a lot actually. But then also other things like not feeling like I'm good enough to do certain things, triggers this whole body response. I used to sweat. It's just sweat for no reason. Well, not for no reason, but I used to just sweat, right? Because I felt like I was in danger. It's different for different people. That's how fear works. We're worried about something. And sometimes it's things like being out of control, or sometimes it's I'm not good enough and self-judgment. There's all different types of fears that come up, mental fears, I'm saying, based on the intellect. Mental patterns, you can call it, mind. This is why this is happening. Fear itself is not a problem. The instinctual nature of it is okay. It's a signal. It's just like if you're driving in your car and your fuel light goes on, your gas light, it's saying, hey, you should fill up. Otherwise, you're going to be out of gas. Nothing wrong with that, is there? It's a signal. Same with our bodies. When we have the fear response, is saying, hey, watch out. Let me speed your heart rate up a little bit, just to tell you. Let me make you feel a little bit anxious, just to remind you. It's like tapping you on the shoulder. If you have that relationship with it and you say, okay, it's just reminding me. Okay, great. That's fine, right? If your relationship is, this is bad. Oh no, I've got another trigger. Oh no, it's happening again. Analyze. Then it gets into this loop of thinking. Thinking is just there as a intermediary tool, but we get stuck in that place. We think that this is actually what's true, or this is like such a definition against us. No, it's just signals kicking off, and we hold on to it, grasping. It's like, imagine if you were in the car again and the fuel light was on all the time, saying, hey, okay, now you're going to have 5 hours left of fuel. Okay, now you're going to have 4. Imagine it was constantly ticking. It'd be pretty annoying, wouldn't it? It'd be pretty annoying to constantly be hearing that, just like our thoughts. But we have to remember, we can switch that fuel light off. We don't have to be stuck, attached to it. Yes, when it's needed is great. Thinking, great. Fear, great. Thanks for reminding me. Thank you for helping me cross the road safely. That's what fear is helping you with. Thank you for telling me I'm hungry. Great, this instinct is telling me. is body, bodily functions, chemical functions, right? So the thinking is the part that is separate. And again, the thinking gets involved with other parts of us as well. Like when we have our heart telling us to do things. This was another problem for me. My heart was saying, yeah, I know this is a good idea. Thinking says, no, 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 danger, danger. Don't do that. It gets involved in everything. It's sticking its nose into everything. And it's not the actual thinking that's the challenge. It's holding on to that and making meaning to that. You see, like most humans can get stuck in this middle world of think. We have this instinct, the body, the things that are triggering off fears, which I've said are not always a bad thing. Then we have the mind, which has made meaning of these things, made meaning to these fears, and then it stays attached. And then we have this heart, which is trying to give us good signs, your soul, whatever you want to call it, trying to lead you and guide you, silent wisdom. But then we're still in this thinking bubble. We're not trusting that thing. And we're making meaning of this thing. These two worlds are great, working with your instinct, working with your intuition. But this middle thing is like, it's like walking across a bridge and staying on the bridge forever. The bridge is there. That's what helps us to navigate through the world, and it's useful, but you don't stay on the bridge. You want to get to the other side. So that's what I mean when I'm talking about fears. It's the analysis of things. When you can let that go and just trust the sensations and the signals from your heart, then you become free from overthinking, from all of this mind, the patterns is made, because you stop reinforcing it. You stop saying, hey, I believe you, you're right. No, okay, I know you're a machine who's collected things. And it's easier said than done. I'm not saying any of this is easy. It's a process. It's having these realizations, these insights. It's connecting to these other parts of you. Then fear starts becoming not some monster. It starts becoming something that could be useful. So let me know your thoughts on that. This is a topic a lot of people ask me about, and whenever I run sessions, always comes up, because like me, a lot of people are stuck there. I was, for sure. What helped me out was slowing down, getting present, raising my level of consciousness, knowing everything about my body, the instinct, knowing how it works, knowing what it needs, listening to it, and understanding my energy, right? Understanding what's happening with my energy, how to master that. That, when slowed down, like, you become free from these programs. It's like unlearning all of the things you've learned and like introducing new stuff in. Then your brain stops firing against these fears, saying they're true. It stops, like, it's like if you were visiting a train station often, you would know exactly where to walk. You know exactly everything about the train times. You know everything about that. If you stop visiting it for a while, maybe some things have changed there. Maybe you don't know it anymore. It's not familiar. So what you got to do with this stuff, you got to make it unfamiliar again, and you got to familiarize yourself with another train route. This other comfortable and, well, maybe not comfortable, this other like fluid and nicer train route. Because when we're in this mind fear zone, it doesn't feel nice, does it? Because it's not natural. If you think about it, like any time in life when you go against nature, Let's just talk about going into the sea and the waves are going one way and you're trying to swim against it. It doesn't work, does it? Or if you try and do something crazy, like look at eating junk food. This junk food is not nature, it's made by junk, right? You know, like McDonald's and all of that. It's not real food. That's why it's not good for you, because it's not natural. Coca-Cola, not natural, not good for you. Drugs, not good for you. So look at it. Smoking, just keep thinking of examples as I'm saying this. Take some time out, write it down. Everything that's unnatural. Doesn't feel good. Just like thinking doesn't feel good. You see? So how can that be truth? How can that be the real you? When you go into these other places, is you're going with nature. Your body is nature. This heart is nature. Great, work there. Smooth. Everyone's been there as well. This is not something that only a person who practices some kind of spiritual rituals and whatever understands. You walk out in nature, you go and have some good times with friends. You're in your heart, you're in just you. You wake up in the morning, you eat, that's you working with your body, your body's nature. So this video is gonna probably have some kind of insight for you, I'm sure. Because when I started figuring this stuff out, I went on this massive journey in the last, well, I started with the body and health and fitness about 10 years ago. This kind of spiritual, energetic practice about 7 years ago. And ever since it's been growing and growing. When these insights have been landing, like it's like my whole world is turned upside down. So, but it took me a while for these things to click. So listen to this, let me know what came up for you. Maybe some things don't resonate, or maybe they don't make sense. You know, just drop me a message and I'd love to talk more about this. Maybe it does make sense. Maybe you're getting it straight away. Maybe you're just like, yeah, nature, I feel that Raj, I get that Raj. Mind is just a jumble. So I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to hear what you got from watching this video. If you made it this far, like, wow, you've watched an entire 30-minute video, I think, yeah. So let me know what you got from it. I'd love to hear from you. And for now, we'll leave it as that. Challenge for you before we close the video is figure out ways that you can start connecting more with the body, the instinct, start listening to it. Notice this in your day. When your body's just telling you, hey, oh, you know, maybe I'm tired, maybe I need this. Listen to it. And then listen to your heart. Maybe it's telling you to do something and you're going against it. Just notice it. Just listen to the voices, really. That's the only thing the challenge is. And listen to the voices of the mind, which is analyzing and thinking. See what would happen if you dropped it, if you just didn't give it attention, but you gave these other two things attention. That's your challenge. Try that for the next 2 days, at least. But do it for 2 days, like actively. Get a piece of paper, write it down, journal. I like to journal a lot, whatever you want, however it works best for you. But after you try this, if you try this, let me know how it went, and I'd love to hear your insights. But for now, remember, fear, all this stuff is it's not as scary as you think. Just got to understand it a bit better, that's all. All right, peace.